Hi, Julian De Rosier from the IIF, International Investment Forum. I am live in the Mining Indaba 2022 in Cape Town, South Africa. I am joined now with Eric Allard, Tantalex Lithium Resources CEO. Eric, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Eric, normally we would have held that over a Zoom call. How great it is that we can be in person and speak to each other.
And it's fantastic. What a show up as well. I mean, it's the first time in 2 years that we come here, and it's just the same as it was before. So the COVID's passed, and now we're back to normal. Nice.
Absolutely. The first numbers we heard, pre-numbers, were like over 5,000 attendees, which means a great success for the event, even better than, even more than expected. And I think reaching full capacity, which is just great news, not just for the mining sector, but for everyone in general.
Exactly.
And so for investors that might not know you, obviously, Tantalex Lithium Resources, lithium is an obvious. Tell us about a little more why it's called Tantalex Lithium Resources.
At the onset, Tantalex was formed in Canada in 2013. We're based on, focused on exploring for tantalum resources across Africa. With mitigated success, basically until 2016, when we arrived in the DRC. We were invited to go see assets or resources, historical resources that were in the Manono area, 600 kilometers north of Lubumbashi. We took 2 concessions at that time. At the same time, we had an Australian company that was on site, AVZ Minerals, and they took the concession of the old historical mine. We had the downstrike concessions. Manono, 600 kilometers north of Lubumbashi. The old mine, historical, produced 180,000 tons of tin from 1913 to the 1980s, 4,500 tons of tantalum. It was a real mining town, a boom town, and then it went into oblivion a little bit for 30 years until we came back in 2016.
And you mentioned some big names and big guys that are next to you, basically. What's your story compared to what's out there?
Well, we have the downstrike concessions from the historical mine, and our concession starts 6 kilometers from where AVZ Minerals have proven up a 400 million ton resource, grading 1.65% Li2O, by far the greatest and most beautiful hard rock spodumene mine in the world.
And one of the biggest deposits also. It's not just in quality, it's in size.
It's just gigantic, and it's fantastic. They've completed the resource, but they also have a reserve. They have completed a DFS in 2020 and are now about to transform that into a mining permit. What we have in the area, in 2018, what we bought is the old tailings asset from the historical mine. Last year we drilled out those tailings, and we did a drone volumetric survey. We have 105 million metric tons of material on surface, as well as the assays that we've received back indicate some really nice intercepts in the southern dumps, up to 1% Li2O on all our holes in the K dump, on some of the holes in the G dump. So right now we are doing our mineral resource estimate with MSA Group. We're doing our metallurgical testing with Cormet here in South Africa, and we should have our first PEA out by September. That being said, we are already in project mode right now. We already are very confident that we have a nice project to deliver, and so we're very, very encouraged. Might I add that we not only lithium; it's a multi-commodity asset. We have lithium, tin, and tantalum. Tin is also very hot right now. I mean, the prices have increased 3 times. There's chronic shortage. And Tantalum, our strategic investor in the company, is the biggest trader in Africa, Afrimet Metals, and they own 30%. And obviously, we're so comfortable with the tantalum space and the commodity there. So we have the three great metals. We're at the right place at the right time with the right products.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of byproducts you don't usually combine as a story, being the 3 you named, but viewers might feel a bit unsecure that it's basically tailing resources and so on. So could you tell us about the pros about having a tailing resource and cons if there's any?
Yeah. So we have a mining permit. It's a mining permit, so we don't have to go through a very lengthy process to transform a research to a mining. The mining costs are going to be next to nothing. It's really, taking a bulldozer, an excavator, and pushing it on a conveyor, which is going to feed a plant. And out of the plant is going to be a standard DMS plant. We're not going to reinvent the wheel here. It's off-the-shelf technology. And basically, we're going to be producing 3 concentrates: tin concentrate, tantalum concentrate, and the spodumene concentrate, 6%. And so that's going to be our products. And so the tailings right now, we're still defining what's going to be the run of mine, what's going to be the mine life. So all that project and engineering is going to be taking course during this year. And we think we'll have a DFS completed by Q1 2023. There's no reason why we couldn't. It's a simple tailings project, and an investment decision by then.
And DFS, PA, feasibility. Why are you doing a DFS?
It is going to be an important project. It's going to be a 90 to 100 million investment. So in all the scheme of things, it's not that much. But the DFS is there just to bring certainty to our stakeholders, our shareholders, and future investors. It's just a guarantee, and it's not much more work to do a DFS than a PFS in our case in Italy.
Exactly. So moving on from that, maybe you touch a bit about your share structure, about key shareholders that you have. Mm-hmm. Can you maybe tell the viewers that don't know your company much, how does it look, the shareholding structure, and maybe cash position, and a little bit in those matrix?
Yep. So right now we have 483 million shares in circulation. Fully diluted will be about 640 million shares. We're listed on the CSE, ticker TTX, and on the FSC Frankfurt Stock Exchange, ticker 1T0.
Where I may add, you see quite some volume actually.
Yes. I think we have a good. Well, I think Germany has really risen to the challenge of the EV and green transition, and everything that bears lithium or EV metals. We see a lot of interest from. Well,
and Germany also, tin, tantalum, those are metals they're very familiar with. They like those very specific and metals that not every country or everyone needs. Obviously, their needs being very, very different from maybe other countries in the world. I think that this also draw a lot of attention to your project, being not just a pure lithium play, but being able to add in the world production of those specialized metal that not everyone can do.
That's correct. I mean, we've talked about the tailings project. We also have 2 other projects. We are going to be starting drilling next week on our pegmatite corridor. It's a 25 kilometer down strike from the AVZ and from the old historical mine. We have identified some nice drill targets with near-surface pegmatites. So we've budgeted $3.5 million for that this year. 9,000 meters of diamond drilling, 8,000 of air core, 6,000 of RC. So we're really working hard to find the next big lithium discovery.
And that would be awesome, obviously, if it happens. But back to the shareholder structure, because we skipped
I skipped that.
No, you did not. We got somewhere.
So I have loan facilities in place with Afrimed, which is our strategic investor, which holds 30%. They're part of an even larger group called Vanomet. That being said, we have $8 to $10 million right now to spend until the end of the year before we become cash flow positive, as we are having a third project called Lubule, tin and tantalum, alluvial and semi-industrial production that's coming on board. We invested $10 million last year into this plant. And right now, all the equipment has arrived in the DRC. We are starting to assemble the modules, and the construction will start next month at site. It's about 30 kilometers southwest of Manono. Again, we're all in the same zone. We're not dispersed throughout the country. And that should be generating something around $50 to $60 million per year with high margins, obviously. So looking forward to that. And
so people that are looking at you, you're not just an exploration play or one of the normal stories. Basically, what you're telling me is that your company could face cash flow positive 2023, financing their own activities or part of it, obviously not full cost, but still, and having not just a footprint in RDC, but basically a production facility, which actually brings a lot more knowledge, a lot more competencies, a lot more engineering, intelligence, and so on within your company.
Correct. our three projects are progressing in parallel. So our tailings project, where the skill set is engineering mostly right now. We're really in the engineering phase, metallurgical testing, PEA, defining the trade-offs. Our second project, Exploration 101, is this long pegmatite corridor that we're going to be drilling. So we have 5 GEOs on that, and we're going to be drilling as much as we can, hopefully with as many rigs as we can. And our third project is really construction and production. And so there's 3 different skill sets, all in parallel, all in the same area. The beautiful thing about it is, we are going to be using the cash flow, about $1.5 to $2 million per month that we're going to be making to finance our engineering and our exploration drilling.
And as a CEO, basically, as you just pointed out, you have 3 parallel roads going at the same point, but very different stage of the mining business, exploration, development, and then coming into production. How great of it is a challenge to still keep every single project rightly aligned, spending the good amount of capital, knowing when to stop, when to pull back the team, and when to open the valve and spend even more?
It's a challenge, but we have a great experienced team. We have our board of directors is really well versed in the DRC. I have started the great projects in the DRC. We're very well. Our commodity and our investment advice is excellent, and our technical team on the ground have know the space. They've built plants before. They've done exploration work before. So in reality, it's not that difficult, and we have a great partners and a great institutional base that's supportive. And right now our stock is not trading so much, but that will change because we've created a situation where there's a lot of news flow coming in 2022. We've rebranded our company, Tantalex Lithium, obviously revamped our website, our Twitter accounts, our LinkedIn accounts. So please follow us. There's going to be a lot coming for this year.
Absolutely. So in closing, you just said it, but where online? What's your website?
TantalexLithium.com.
Okay, perfect. So I invite future investors or anyone that wants to know more about the company to go online, get more details, contact Mr. Allard if need is so. And we're very happy to have you today. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Julien. That was a pleasure.